Happy Monday to everyone. I'm just going to give you guys a chance to get in. Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. Come on in, those of you that are in, share the broadcast, share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something really interesting and dynamic. Hello, those of you that are on Facebook and YouTube, go ahead and share this post. Go ahead and share it, 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 share it. You want
recording in progress.
You don't want to miss this session, so please, I'm asking, just go ahead and share, and so some people can come in. We're going to be talking about something really nice tonight. And I just want everybody to come on in and share. So blessings to those of you that are on Facebook. Greetings to you. Greetings, 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 greetings. Hello. I feel like saying that song, greetings I bring to you from Jah. But we're all not ragamuffins anymore. Eh? So I just want to say good evening to everyone and thank you for joining in this night. We thank you for everything that, all the support that we've been getting, and just the blessings that everybody has been to the ministry. Also, I want to take the time out to thank Doctors Sheldon and Natalie Evans for affording us to be on the radio. I'm just grateful tonight for that. We're grateful for the exposure. We're grateful for, just helping us become better. We just thank God because we like the kingdom connection, and if we're gonna be doing ministry, let's just connect and do it right. All right. Also, I thought I was gonna be flying solo tonight, but so I'm just really excited. My co-host is here. I'm excited. I'm gonna bring her in so everyone can see her smiling face. Along with mine. We're gonna be doing this together tonight. I'm just grateful for her support. For her over the last couple of weeks, I've been extremely busy, and she just filled right in. And oh my God, it was really good. I thought the sessions were so good. I was in the background going, yeah, really, really good. So welcome, Evangelist Nikki. Welcome, 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 welcome. You got home and fixed up good. You look good. Amen. So I'm just grateful for that. For those of you that are on Favor FM, good afternoon to you. Good evening. Happy Monday. Those of you on YouTube, happy Monday. I'm just grateful for what God is doing in all of our lives. And I'm truly happy to be here this evening. So this evening, we're going to be talking about something, and it just dropped in my spirit while I was sitting at my desk working today. And a lot of times, in us getting married and wanting to be married, sometimes we think we're ready, but are you sure you are ready for marriage? And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Are you sure you are ready for marriage? I know most persons say, sure, I was ready. But then once you got married and things started to get shaky, then you're like, oh no, because I don't know if I was ready for all of this that took place. And we're never ready for what takes place. But however, we should be prepared for the unexpected. And I think for the most part, Evangelist Nikki, most people enter into marriage with superficial expectations, right? And so when things don't go their way, the disappointment is real. And they're like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for that, but yeah, that's what you signed up for. Marriage takes work. Blessings to my Yaya on Facebook. Karen Pfeiffer, blessings to you. Marriage takes work. It takes work to really get ourselves together in marriage. It takes work. It's not an easy task as some people might think, right? And so I'm grateful tonight for everything and all the experiences that I've experienced. However, I'm not so naive to think that it's going to be a bed of roses, right? It can be, but it's not always going to be. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Are you sure you are ready for marriage? Now, as a marriage counselor, right? As a marriage counselor, most of the time when young people, especially young persons, and when I say young, I mean like in their 20s or teens, mid-20s, or even some that are in their 30s, when they come and say, I'm ready to get married, and I ask them, one question I always ask, and they look at me funny, and I ask, do you want to get married, or you just want to legalize the sex that you're having? Especially those of you that are Christians, those that are Christian. I'm like, do you really want to get married, or you just want to get married to legalize the sex that you're having? Bishop-elect Carl Brown said, can you be ever ready? You're not 100% ready, but for the most part, you are. Once you say, you know what, I've decided that I'm going to make this commitment to be ready, then I think that you ought to make a conscious effort to stick out whatever is going to happen. So, Evangelist Nikki, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the getting ready part, or the being ready part, because so many people enter marriage unadvisedly. We're not even going to talk about the unadvisable part yet, but so many people enter into marriage with unrealistic expectations. And when things don't go their way, they're ready to tap out. And I don't think we should go that route. I don't think persons should tap out because maybe something is not going the way they planned or expect. What say you?
I absolutely agree. I saw the topic and I had to chuckle because it is you have to get to that place where first of all, you have to be happy with yourself. You have to be happy with yourself. It's for me, marriage is the OJT. I think I said it right, on the job training. Right? It's an on the job training, but you need the foundation so you know what you're building on. And the foundation to be ready, it's not in the other person, it's within. Am I getting married because of emotion? Am I getting ready because I'm in the butterfly state? These are external things that we look at. We place the readiness on the other person. That's not the foundation. It's have to start with self. The most important thing, me growing up, I heard a lot of people said, I can't wait to get married so I can be happy. Yes, if you're getting ready for that, let me disappoint you. Happiness is a state of mind. You have to already come with your happiness and the person you're with to enhance it. So
true.
Get ready for marriage. Like you said, there is no one size fit all. What marriage is to me or looks like to me will be completely different for someone else. But we all, in order for me personally to be ready, you have to know the basic foundation of the institution of marriage. It's commitment, it's servitude, it's dedication, it's selfless, it's apologizing when you don't feel like it, it's giving grace when you don't feel like it. Because the key thing is, a lot of people use the thing feeling, right? In marriages, he makes me feel this way. That's emotion. That's not love. That's a temporary state. So this is a very interesting topic. Let me tell you, because a lot of people might be like, "But I'm married and I'm never ready." Then your mindset needs to change to do what it takes to be ready.
And that's true. So Bishop-elect Carl Brown said, what if tapping out is life-saving? Now, like we say, marriage is not one size fit all. And if you're ready to tap out, that means there were signs prior to getting married, right? Because if you're married for a period of time, and and tapping out is relative, right? Tapping out is relative. Now, if the situation is toxic, the person is abusive, and those toxic traits that it's unlivable, they don't want to be accountable for their actions or what is happening. Now, if they're just so toxic in the relationship, they were toxic prior to.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times I find that persons tolerate so much during the courting period, right? Because they say, well, once we get married, it's going to change. And I find that it does not change. It doesn't change when you get married. Situations worsens because if it's not dealt with during the courting stage, you will be disappointed. You will be like, wait a minute, what did I get myself involved in? And then now you're going to want to tap out. However, you saw some signs prior to, and people always say, well, it wasn't that bad, but now, listen, it was that bad. But because your emotions was involved, you say, you know what? I can bear it. And that's why I always say, come out of your emotions when you're courting, come out of it. Matter of fact, from the dating period, come out of it. Come out of it from the dating period, because our emotions will make us overlook the red flag, the big, gigantic, huge red flag, the stop sign. Our emotions will make us overlook it, right? Until we get in it, and we're in it for 24/7, 365. We're ready to tap out. But if you're ready to tap out now, then you should have never tapped in. And that's not written in stone, but from my perspective and what I'm seeing and what I'm learning with relationship and how stuff goes, right? And if you are ready leading up to the marriage, and then something happened and you're ready to tap out, that mean I'm just gonna say this, and because Bishop-elect asked a question, I don't think you were ready. I don't think you were prepared for what was to come, right? And also he said, what if the person messes with your happiness? Now, persons messing with your happiness is a big issue as well. Now, if that person can mess with your happiness to cause you not to want to be married, signs were definitely there prior to saying I do. And that's just my take on it. Signs were there. Listen, how sure were you that you wanted to make this commitment to this person? Like Evangelist Nikki said, marriage is servitude, commitment, being selfless, giving, not 50%, but 100%, forgiving easily, love covers. Where's the love for better, for worse? We say all these googly eye stuff, when we're standing at the altar, we agree to so much stuff when we're standing at the altar until we find out, oh, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this. And we're ready to tap out. And I'm just using tap out because Bishop-elect use it, but we ought to really know what we want. We ought to be prepared. It says, now here's what some of the specialists have to say. Do you find yourself looking for signs you're ready for marriage? Did you look for the signs that you were ready? What was the signs there that you weren't ready, but you overlooked them? Now, I want you to talk to me. Those of you in the Zoom room, talk to me. Say it in the chat. Those of you on Facebook that are responding, those of you that are on YouTube, respond. So, this is a conversation that we need to be had, because too many people or too many persons are finding out, like Bishop said, they're ready to tap out because it's going to save their life. And like I said, if the person is abusive, yes, if they're toxic, if counseling can't help, because we want to explore all our options before we tap out. We can't just say, you know what, I made a mistake. Oops, I did it again. No, it wasn't no oops, right? So marriage is hard work on everybody's part, not just the woman's part, but the man's part as well, on both parties. Listen, what was the group that sing that song? It takes two to make the thing go right. Oh my God, what's the Rob Bass? Rob Bass said it takes two to make the thing go right, right? So, and it takes two to make it go wrong. It's not just one person. And that's why my mantra or my motto or my thing is have a conversation. Don't sweep stuff under the rug. When something get on your nerve, Evangelist, thinking, what we gonna do?
Talk about it.
We gonna talk about it. When you see that red flag during the courting or the dating stage, talk about it. Don't wait till it festers and turn cancerous. Then now, oh my God, what did I do? No, right? But before you seek in an answer to answering the question, were you looking for signs where you're ready to be married? You need to look within yourself, yes, in the periphery of your relationship, and answer the more pertinent questions. Are you ready? Were you ready? Your partner might have been ready, but were you ready? Were you prepared? Were you equipped? Lord Jesus, let me tell you something. I'm learning so much stuff. I know when I wanted to get married, at first, when I wanted to get married, Evangelist Nikki, and I'm just going to be transparent and happy and honest, I was ready to have sex legally. I was ready to legitimize I was ready to get my flesh under control. But guess what? My flesh didn't come under control until years before I even got married. I had to bring my body under control because I didn't just want to get married for the sex. Once I became more mature, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not all about the sex. Marriage is more than just the sex, right? It's the commitment, it's the servitude, it's the honesty, it's the transparency, it's the accountability. And that's what messes up a whole lot of relationships. It's the accountability portion where persons are not ready to be held accountable for their actions. For every action, it doesn't matter what it is, right? And I think that's what it is. My Yaya on Facebook says, going to read her statement. I've been married for 41 years, and it's mainly because of God and his guidance. Awesome, yes. But I find as human beings, we are just more comfortable with taking the easy way out. Bingo. We're ready to take the easy way out, not just in marriage, but in life itself. And that's why some people tap out. It takes work to have a successful marriage, and you both must be committed, and divorce should be taken off the table as an option. I agree with that 100%. It takes work. And it takes hard work. You can't be ready to tap out at the first sign of a disagreement. Blessings to you, Evangelist Wallen on Facebook. We have to be sure that we are ready. When we look in our peripheral, we got to say, look, girl, are you ready? Man, am I ready to be married? You got to be ready. And I can't for the life of me comprehend persons get married and you're into the marriage 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And you're like, oh no, it's not working. Why isn't it working? Let's have the conversation. Let's sit down. Don't just say, it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Huh? What do you mean it's not what you thought it was going to be? What do you mean? And I know things happen. Yes, especially in the Christian culture, most persons, they get married in the Christian culture or some other culture. Yes, they don't get they don't cohabitate prior to marriage. So we're not sure how the person's bad habits are, right? That's why discernment is good. That's why when you went to their house and you saw it dirty, you should have been like, wait a minute. If it's dirty and she knew I was coming or he knew I was coming, if it's dirty now, that's the indication it's going to be dirty afterwards. Right? If she couldn't cook or he couldn't cook, then that's a clear indication. Would you say, Evangelist Nikki?
She is hoping to be trained.
And I knew you were going to say that because Evangelist Nikki couldn't cook prior to her getting married.
I
So,
can
you know, but
help
she was willing to
myself.
be trained.
I was not able to help myself, but yes, you have to be open to be taught and to be trained and to learn and to grow. And that's what marriage is all about. It's two different mindsets growing together to become one. You don't come one overnight. You have to constantly making that intentional effort to grow. And like I said, to understand relationship, everyone have to have a one.
And let's go back to what Bishop-elect Brown said. Let's go back. He says, let me go back to his statement that he's made. What if tapping out is life-saving? So what kind of danger are you in? Because if you're in danger, then yes, you should be able to tap out. And
right.
what type of danger?
We don't condone that. We talk about in this platform healthy relationship. If you're in life-threatening danger, the first thing we advise you to do, call 911, call a shelter, call for help. Do not stay there until somebody's shown up at your funeral and said, you know, you should have, they've seen the sign and, you know, and then it's after, I should have put up. No, you know when you're in danger. I can't tell you what your danger is. You know when you're threatened. You know when your safety is being violated. We do not condone that on this platform. Marriage in between indifference, we do not condone abuse of any sort. We are speaking more to those relationships that's in a crossroads, so to speak. Or you need a little boost, right? You need to just do a little bit self-examine, an assessment of where you are in your marriage. Because it's imperative to take inventory of your marriage, of your relationship, and where you're going. And just go back over where you're coming from, where you are, and what is the future. And these are conversations that needs to have with both parties, and also conversation you have to have with yourself to do your own inventory, do an assessment of where you are. So we're not speaking from abuse of any sort. Just for those who need a little boost, right? Or just need a little pick me up, right? So that's what we're referring to, as Evangelist said. So know where you are, know your whys. And again, the question is asked, are you, are you sure you were ready for marriage? We have that, and that's why the inventory is important when you assess yourself, because once you know you're sure, come hell or high water, you're going to do whatever it takes to make it work. If you were in it for emotional reason, if it's based on sexual reason, let me encourage you. There's days you don't care for sex. There's days the sex will not be available because your partner might traveling or be overseas or not feeling well. So you have to be mature to understand these are all part of life. Lives happen, circumstances happen, accidents happen, you know, where you can't even think about sexual satisfaction at all. Right? But about the personal well-being. So those cannot be your foundation. Your foundation have to be so rooted that no matter what comes, you have, it's like building a house on the sand. You know what's going to happen, right? If it's not built on the solid rock and the principle that guide your relationship that start in the Bible, yes, I'm going there. It has to be built on the foundation of what the Bible said marriage institution is. We have to have that foundation. If not, any wind will come and, like Evangelist said, you will tap out. Because we're in a culture nowadays, you know, oh, I don't need to put up with this. I don't need to deal with this. But guess who's the problem? You, because when you move on to somebody else, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see the same problem.
The same problem.
You're going to keep tapping out till you're number 10 in your marriage, number 10 marriage, number 12 marriage, right? You're going to just keep tapping out. We don't have no stickability, because we don't know our whys. Once you know your foundation and the principle that guides marriage, which is right back to the Bible again, right? And we take that vow as Evangelist said, but are you just saying yes to the vow because you're excited about the wedding and not prepared for the marriage? So it's easy to just say yes, yes, yes till death do us part. But what does that look like? when you have
Right.
action on it. Is it tapping out because he snores too much? Is it tapping out because he doesn't call me as often as he used to when we were dating? Is it tapping, these little things that are insignificant that we make become the big thing because we're not focusing on the person. A lot of time, evangelists, a lot of person get married to the replica of the person instead of accepting the person for who they are. We created this facade in our head that this person is going to be this way. But once I say hi to honey, I'm going to change him. I heard this saying one time, evangelist, I'm going to get him right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, honey, I just need to get the ring on so I can get him right. What? You're not Jesus. We cannot change it.
No, we can't get nobody right. We got to get ourselves together. And listen to this. This is what I think we discussed this some time ago on Before You Say I Do. Most people prepare for the marriage, the wedding, and not the marriage itself. Yeah. You prepare, you pick the desk, you pick the colors, the place for the event, you pick the colors, you pick everything, you're prepared, you want this color, you pick the decor, you pick everything, you pick the honeymoon spot, you pick the menu, and you prepare for the wedding. But when it comes to the marriage, no preparation is made for that. You know what I mean? The only thing you're preparing for is the wedding night. Now you got to prepare for the day after you say, I do.
That's when the marriage begins.
That's when it begins. And so like my yaya said, you as human beings, we're so comfortable with just, I'm done.
Yes.
I'm done.
No stickability because you don't want to be held accountable and take responsibility. Because if you stick around, then you have to examine self, backtrack. Where did I go wrong? What can I change about me? What is my attitude like? But it's easy to point fingers, and you can, I listened to a podcast the other day, and he was saying it's easy to say, oh, I'm having a problem, and it's they're the one that caused it. My spouse, why I act this way. It's easy to blame someone else, and we can call 6-10 people to tell them about the problem. Well, guess what? We do not want solution to the problem.
Right.
We like the attention that we get from the problem.
Say that again.
Yeah, a lot of time we don't want solution to our marriage problem or our issues because what? We like the attention when I call so and so, and I call so and so, and I can tell them it's the spouse doing it. So we don't want the solution because in this generation that we're in with so many information out there to get assistance to be better for self. We did a couple last week and the week before on childhood trauma, and we did different podcasts on how to heal. A lot of time we do not, because we like the fact that we get attention from these these trauma, so we don't want to fix it so we can move on. And why did I get a divorce? Honey, that spouse over there, he was no good, right? So we can blame that person, and we use that same attitude to be with somebody else and bleed on that person again, and still do not take responsibility because we don't understand our why, because it's easy for us to say it's someone else's fault. We have to be intentional about taking responsibility for self. Examine self. If you can't apologize and it's always somebody else is wrong, you need a little bit more maturity. You need a little bit more growth.
Yeah. It's let me tell you something. Marriage is not just about the wedding day, the flowers, the dress, the food, the taking pictures, and you're the celebrity for the day. That's not the importance. That's not even the marriages. Afterwards, when problems arise, situation arise, and circumstances arise, then you realize, wait a minute, I wasn't ready for this. I don't think I'm sure, and even Bishop Brown says, what if that person messes with your happiness? So that means your happiness is predicated on that person?
Right. And that's why I said happiness is within.
How much control or power does that person have over you that based on their actions is going to affect your happiness? And I understand what you're saying because it does. But if that person can mess with your happiness, then they can mess with a whole lot else.
Yep, they control your mindset.
That they control your mindset, they control your
They control your
moods.
mood, they control your temper, because that's giving too much power to one person. Like I said earlier, if your foundation, if your why for getting married is because that person makes me happy, keyword makes me happy, that means that person tells you when you're sad, they tell you when you're, happy. They get to control your mood basically on a day-to-day basis. You have to first be happy. That means you're healthy. A healthy person finds their happiness within. And then you get married to get happier. So they enhance my full tank that I have. So God forbid life happen and that person leave, or something should happen and that person is no longer in your life. Guess where they left you? On your 100. Because what they're doing, they're adding on to enhancing what you already have. So a lot of people you'll find when their relationship fail, what happened? They lose their mind, and they can't find themselves anymore because everything was tied up in that person, their happiness, their sleep, their joy, everything. Because what? They were depending on somebody else. So you cannot be in a marriage where your happiness, your well-being, your joy is dependent on what person. That is too much control, and you're setting up yourself
too much
use. And normally what happens, you find in those circumstances, those persons are insecure, don't know whose they are, don't have a self-identification of themselves, or they were taught that they weren't good enough. They're insecure, so they're depending on this person for a validation. That's not a good place to be in a marriage.
No.
If you're at that state, it's not too late. There is still help.
Yeah, there's still help. If you're at that
find
stage,
yourself, if that person don't call you and you're going flustered and you start crying, you live looking at the phone just to hear that text, just to hear that person call you. And if you don't hear from them, your whole day is messed up. Help is available. Seek therapy.
Yeah, help is available. Help is available. Let me tell you something. They're gonna be, here's some telltale signs to check. And this is not 100, I'm not going to say not 100%, but this is not the only sign, but these are some of the signs to let you know if you are really actually ready for marriage, right? So before you get married, as we've been talking, and we've been hitting on some of them, before you get married, you need to find the right reason why you want to get married. Ask yourself some key questions, so you can ensure that your marriage, your relationship is starting off on a good foundation that will help you face any unforeseen circumstances together. Now, when unforeseen circumstances come up, Evangelist, persons tend to drift apart than to drift closer. It's not rocket science, but it takes two, and I'm going to keep saying it. And let me read the comment from my Yaya on Facebook. She said, I also watch people who have been in successful marriages for years, and I took tidbits from the woman. Example, how she spoke to her husband. And let me tell you something. My Yaya, Karen Pfeiffer, she's on Facebook. She's been knowing me since I was 15. So she knows the ins and outs of me. And I've watched her, how she speaks to her husband, how she addresses her husband. She was an example for me when I wanted to get married, how to be the good wife. Now, I've been in their car, I've been in their home, and I'm not saying that they don't have disagreement, because I know I've been in the car with them when they've had disagreement, and honest to God, I heard my brother speak, and I did not hear my sister respond, but I know she responded because I know how she is. But because I was in the car, the response was so low and so respectful that I was like, wow. Now, for the most part, most of us, our tone would have been at 100, right? But her tone was so low, and I was sitting directly behind her, and I could hardly hear what she was saying. That's respect. That's a woman who wants to build her relationship, even when her spouse was, for lack of a better term, get on her nerves, right? just for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? And so I watch how she spoke to him. I watch how she served him. So they've been married for 41 years. So there's some history. There's some nuggets there. There's some wisdom there. So I watched her before I got married. I asked questions. And my yaya was like you, Evangelist Nikki. She learned from her mother-in-law how to cook. Because her husband loved his mom cooking. So she went and, her mother-in-law taught her how to cook. And so it's nothing wrong with it, learning, but you have to be open, right? And so, as far as her tone and how she built up her husband, some women these days are not building up their husband. Some men are not building up their wives, right? These are just a few things I would take note of. A major mistake can be getting advice from someone that just got married, or they're not married, or their marriage is not successful. We have to make sure that we're in it for the long haul and not just for the fame of the one day. We don't just want the fame of the one day, but we want forever, 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 until death. And it's going to take some work. It's going to take getting on each other's nerve. It's going to take going in the other room for a day or for an hour to say, you know what, let me get myself together, then we're going to regroup. But just tapping out, and I'm just saying tapping out because Bishop used that terminology, but I'm not getting, you tapping out shouldn't be even in the options. Tapping out shouldn't even be in the options, especially if you've been married under 10 years. Unless there's some grave sign of abuse, then yeah, call Popo. Call the police and find out what's the anger for. What Lady Danica in the virtual room, she said, what's an appropriate reason to get married? We're coming to that. We're coming to that answer right there. We're coming to that, right? So here's some signs. Here's some revealing signs you're ready for marriage, if you're ready for marriage or not. And maybe you can get the answer in here. Looking for signs that you're ready to get married. Check whether you actually want to get married. And because marriage takes effort and commitment, like we've been saying for the last 37 minutes, that is meant to be for a long time. So marry when you are ready for it, for that long haul, for better, for worse part. Don't consider getting married because your partner or your parents want you to get married, or the church, ding, 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 the church want you to get married. Outside circumstances may make you feel like you want to get married, but this is your decision. Getting married is your decision. It's a conscious decision on your part to say, you know what? The young man see a young lady that he likes. He goes through the proper protocols with her parents, and she chooses to accept or not. You ladies, when he asked, you said yes. However, after saying yes, did you do your homework? Lord God, that's another topic. Did you do your homework? Listen. Not only now we need to check the background, but we need to check other relationships. How were you in other relationships? If they were married before, what causes the divorce? Find out, do background check. Don't just giggy, but find out, how is he as a person, as a whole? Watch him, how he reacts in different circumstances. Help me out here, Evangelist Nikki.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, that's a valid question, Danica. What's the appropriate reason to get married? And like we said earlier, everyone reason will varies, right? Because everyone reason for getting married based on their background, their upbringing is different. But you have to know your why. that will withstand sickness till death do us part, the long haul. If you're just dreaming about plastering your Facebook page, your social media with the white dress, looking at different colors, you see other people wedding and you just plaster it, and that's just giving you the butterflies. That's not a good reason to get married, in my opinion, because like we said, the wedding day, we put all the preparation into that day, but the marriage is you being mature enough to be able to change your dialogue from me, myself, and I, to we, to us, right? Are we able to share and not competing with each other, right?
Mhm.
You have to get to that maturity level where you're putting someone else's well-being sometime above yours for peace sake.
That right there, putting
And that's
somebody
called
else's
grace.
well-being above yours. Oh my God.
And that's called grace, and that's what grace is. But everyone why will be different, but it's what makes you be able to stand whatever outside forces, whatever circumstance going to come up against you, that you can say, this is the reason why I'm here and I'm willing to put in the work. It's like you get on a job, you know why you apply for that company, you research the company, you find out their benefits, their values, does it align with yours? It's the same thing with marriage with that person. Does their value align with your values, right? Is their goals, kind of similar to yours? So you can, so these are the things, are you ready to come together as us, we, and not operating in silos? And that is it somebody forcing me, like Evangelist said, is it outside forces? If not, then you're not ready. Because next thing you're gonna say, well, the church said I have to in order to get this position, So if it's not coming from within, that you look to yourself and say, I'm ready to share my space, I'm ready to share my time, I'm ready
to share my money.
Finances is a big deal. Yes, I am ready to share that. But in the process, I am not needy. I'm not getting married because I am needy. So that way you be clingy and this person is my be all do all, right? We don't want to say, you know what, I don't have love for my parents. I need a man to love me. Or, I didn't have my dad in my life, so I need a man to treat me the way my dad didn't treat me, right? So these people use some of these things, that I need a man because there was none in my life, so I need to have a man. Our Evangelist said, we're doing it because of the sexual, it's required based on your religion to be married before sex, and you think you are ready. These are not the reason. Your why has to be rooted to withstand any storm. Come what may, you can go back to the root and said, I made this commitment to serve. In spite of it all, I am here to serve. And the best way to look at marriage is how Christ came and served us. How did he serve us? And that's what marriage is. It's an institution that is ordained by God, because our Father God, he is the head of the husband is the head of the wife. And if you wanted to see the full picture, not the world way, because the world is, until you stop serving me, until you stop tickling me, until you stop tickling my funny bone, until you stop making me emotionally high, until you stop giving me butterflies, and I'm on to the next one. That's the world way. The Christ way, the biblical way, is until death do us part. And if you see how Christ has served us, it's with grace daily. Grace is given to someone daily of yourself, even when they don't deserve it. It's saying, I'm sorry, even when you are right. It's apologizing, even when you are right. And that's the hard part to do. It's not easy to apologize when you're in the right, but we have to use grace and humility daily. It's not a sometime thing. Every day we have to give our spouse grace and humility. Why? Because Christ gives it to us daily. And that's part of servitude. So your white Danica might be different from someone else. Or is it some people said, I have to get married because my biological clock is clicking, and they're like frantic. So they picked the first person that said hello. They're like, okay, the wedding date is this. We're gonna get this color ring, and they already start planning the wedding because somebody tell them, okay, my biological clock is kicking. I need to get married. So it's different.
And
for
that's not a
different
good, and that's
person.
not a good reason to get married,
Never.
because then it's not gonna,
Never.
what if your biological clock tick out and it don't work when you get married? So what's gonna happen?
Exactly. So that's if it's based on external influences, external forces, and it's not coming from within, that you're mature and you can look to yourself authentically and ready to say us. That's always the key thing. We and us together.
Together.
Yes. Once we can use us without apology, you know, you are getting there. You're getting mature in the wedding.
I think Cheryl on Facebook, she said, I think she responded to the question, what's an appropriate reason to get married? She said love.
I
want to say no too, because
it's not. It's not.
Love is not enough.
No, love is not enough. It's
love
not
is not enough, because some days you don't feel like you're gonna love
exactly.
them.
Sometimes you don't even love yourself. Sometimes you don't even love your own self. Love is a bonus. It cannot be your main why, because remember, love is emotion. Most people excuse me, if it's not ordained with the will of God, the world way we do love with emotion, meaning you stimulate me, how you make me feel when I look at you, when I hear your voice. What happened when those days don't happen? When you're just not feeling yourself, I don't even want to hear your voice. I don't even want to talk to you. What happened when you don't feel? Because see, love, the world see love as feeling, right? But if your love is based on the agape love and conditional love, which we aspire to do daily, which is servitude, am I able to serve you? Or am I only serving you so you can reciprocate? What happened when you don't get back what you're looking for? You know what I mean? What happened with that love? How many times I see a lot of folks, and I have a lot of friends, my past, y'all know me, we all go to that stage where I'm love over eels with that person, right? I am gaga in love. I love them. I just can't live without him, right? He gives me butterflies. We hear all those things all the time. They get married, nice, well, and everything, and a couple of years later on, they still, you know, someone said they in the divorce office with the lawyer, and the lawyer said, why are you getting married? I don't love him anymore. I don't love her anymore. Right? So was that love enough to keep them together? So that's what we're saying. It cannot be your foundation, right? Building your marriage on, because I know a lot of folks get divorced and they look at the person and they said, why are you getting divorced? Oh, I don't love her anymore. I don't love him anymore. Right? So what happened? The love was based on eros, right? Emotional love. So when the emotion wear off, so does the love. So we call it like in a fog. Once the fog is no longer there, I no longer love you no more. You no longer stimulate me no more. So the love that we're talking about, to answer, yes, love is a part of the ingredient, but what we're saying, it cannot be your base foundation. It can't be the basis. So each day we're aspired to serve each other with the agape love, which is how Christ loved us. And that's grace and humility daily. So if your main reason only is because I love him, you're gonna end up saying, you know what? You're gonna tap out. You're gonna tap out. That's what I was trying to remember. You're gonna go to the divorce course and tap out and say, I no longer love him anymore. He or she get on my nerve. We have to be careful. And Cheryl also say unconditional love. What happened to that butterfly when they get on your nerves? You still gotta have that butterfly in your belly. That's when the grace come in. That's when the humility come in. Right? So, you know, it's really, love is not enough, you know. I think Tony Braxton said love should have brought you home last night. Right? It's commitment. So, your foundation have to be, can I commit to this person through sickness and health? Can I serve this person even when they're not serving me back? Can I love this person even when, you know, because a lot of time we love and expect the person to reciprocate back the way we are serving them. And you said, okay, they're not doing it. So you base it on a measure. You're measuring how much you love that person based on what you give them a little, they should give you back a little. And if they're pulling back and you're pouring and they say, you know what, I'm not serving you no more because I'm not getting nothing out of this. We're not saying being a doormat, being a walkover, or anything like that, but you know the person that you're with. It's like saying, oh, I cooked every day and they don't appreciate that I'm cooking, so I'm going to stop cooking now. you have to look at the other areas that they are serving you that you're not able to serve them back in. So if we're just looking at serving this person, being in love with this person based on how we're treating them for them to reciprocate, you're gonna fail. Because how you show love might not be how the other person show love.
True. And they might not they may not be receiving the love that you're showing based
because
on what if
that's not their love language. You have not even
right.
what your love language is either. So I have a friend who will buy gifts left, right, and center. But the person that she's with does not like to buy gifts. So she'll shower him with gifts, right? And expect the person to do the same because that's her way of telling the person that she needed gifts. I'm like, just say it. So now she's overextending herself. She's getting frustrated because he's not reciprocating, because to him, it don't mean nothing. You give him a gift, okay, thank you. But that person feels love. So because that person is not reciprocating back, buying her gifts, she feels like the person do not love her. Well, all she have to say to this person, this is how I feel love. And now the person says, I can't do nothing right. Nothing I do is good enough for her. Because for him to feel love, appreciation is necessary. Affirmation is necessary. So a lot of time relationship can be saved if we understand how that person received love in their love language, so we can serve them that way so we don't get tapped out.
And another thing too, are you sure you're getting ready? Are you sure you were ready to be married when the person say, you know what? If you're a person that want to be together all the time, and that person is not like that, right? That should have been established prior to I do. That you know, it's so many things
that's insecurity right there that need to be addressed before you say hi.
Right. That should have been addressed. So let me tell you something. Communication is key. And everything boils down to communication, right? Because a lot of times, wait a minute, my laptop is about to die. One moment.
Yeah, a lot of time we're speaking and we're asking the question, like you said, Evangelist, with so many tools out there, so many apps, so many websites that give us, even guide us on how to ask, even the dating stage and stuff like that. But we do ask a lot of time, not to understand, but just to reply. You know, and we need to get understanding and check for clarity.
I think sometimes persons are scared to ask the real questions, you know, the question is going to challenge the person.
I don't want to ask, and I might run him away, or he might not call me back for another day. That is insecurity. You have to have confidence. Being married, meaning you're confident in your skin, confident to speak up for what you desire, speak your truth, your need with love, with grace, right? Not demanding and condescending, but use your word wisely, seasoned with honey. And it's better to know the truth up front, so you know what you're getting in, and you can understand, is this something I want to continue with? Do I need to go on another date? Or listen, wish don't make relationship.
No, it doesn't.
Don't make relationship.
It sure doesn't.
It's work. It's two people putting in the work. You can't wish the problem away. You can't wish you'll be better. You have to be the change you want to see. It does not take wish. It does not take hope. It's work. It's putting the work in, putting action to the words, what you have learned, put it into practice. Because a lot of people say, I hope he'll change when we get married. I hope in the next 2 years he'll get better. No, they won't. No.
Let me tell you something. We definitely have to do part 2 in this, because we just got to the first one. We just got to the first one, which is, check whether you actually want to get married. Did you want to get married? And the reasons behind you wanting to get married, or, why did you get married? Lord Jesus, I was about to say this. Were you pregnant, so you had to get married? Lord of mercy. Jesus. Let me tell you something. So we definitely have to come back for part 2. So come back next week. We're going to do part 2, because we have quite a few telltale signs of whether you were sure you wanted to get married, because It's too many persons tapping out, as Bishop Brown said. Too many persons were tapping out, and tapping out should not be on the table. Divorce should not be on the table. What happened to that googly eye? And some persons even personalize their vows. What happened to that personalized vows? And, oh, you make me feel so good, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And the conscious decision you made to say yes when he proposed, right? So we're going to explore further. Are you sure you're ready to get married? Listen, y'all, share this broadcast out. Those of you that are on Facebook, please share this on your page so somebody can see it. Those of you that are on YouTube, please share it to someone. Those of you that are on the radio, on Favorite FM, if you want more information, please just contact Dr. Sheldon and Natalie Evans, to get more information. If you need counseling, please reach out. If you feel like tapping out, before you tap out, reach out to us. Reach out to Marcia Baker's Ministries at gmail.com. Email us so that we can help you. We are here to help. And you don't have to be a Christian to reach out to us. We deal with relationship between a man and a woman. Put that out there, right? So the marriage intended God ways for a male and a female, right? To reproduce and to replenish and to be fruitful and multiply. And if you can't be fruitful and multiply, when you get married, you ought to be able to be fruitful, and not just in childbearing, but in every area. So we've got to be careful. Are you sure you're ready to get married? Are you sure you are ready? Those of you that are single, those of you that are even separated, are you sure you want to get married? Are you sure you want to be married? Are you thinking about getting back with your partner? You need to share this broadcast. Come next week so we can continue the conversation. And I say conversation because we're not trying to browbeat. We're having a conversation to make it more real, make it more practical. For the most part, most of us Christians that believe in Jesus Christ, or most persons that are religious, you already know the ins and out of your beliefs and your belief system of why you need to stay together. And maybe you've been practicing it, maybe you haven't, but you need to do some practical things. And you know what I said to somebody the other day, Evangelist? I said, every marriage is not going to work. Why? Because you weren't compatible to begin with. And if your marriage is just based on sex, after that word, people are like, what else you have in common? What else? So, I enjoyed this hour talking to you. Please support Prayer for Marriages with your prayers. We love you. Evangelist Nikki, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being with us. Again, thanks to those listening on Facebook, YouTube, and on the radio. We love and appreciate you. God bless you. God keep you. I pray we said something tonight that will unctionize you to think and to make you, and those of you that are single, because I know single persons watch as well, to make sure, are you sure you want to get married, right? Now, marriage is beautiful when two persons come together and is ready to commit and ready to serve, ready to be transparent, ready to work, all right? So I love you all. God bless you. Have a good evening. We thank you for staying with us. Thank you for those of you that joined in late. Thank you so much, and we love you. God bless. Have an awesome evening.
Bye for now.
Heaven really loves and appreciates you, all listeners. If this ministry has been a blessing to you and impacted your life, here's an opportunity to show your love and support by becoming a monthly covenant partner or sowing a seed today. Log on to our website, www.favorfm.com. That's www.favorfm.com, and hit that donate button or call 866-799-7271. That's 866-799-7271. Please support us as we continue to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ to God's people through music, the word, and testimonies. Thank you for standing with us.
Evangelism Family Life Ministries and Favor FM Radio 93.5 in association with Team Kingdom Alliance presents the 12 noon Prayer Power Hour, Monday through Friday at 12 noon, shifting the atmosphere. You must be a part of it. It happens at 12 noon, Monday through Friday. Dial in on the conference call at 646-475-1644. That's 646-475-1644. You can also join in on Facebook Live and FavorFMRadio.com.
Let Favor FM Radio advertise your business, product, church program, concert, conference today. Call our advertising department and find out about our ideal promotional package to suit your needs. Call us at 866-799-7271. That's 866-799-7271.